Let's talk about the non-negotiables that you should never, ever compromise in your relationship. So in today's podcast, Cece and I, we're going to talk about some of the things that are considered non-negotiables in our relationship. Stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my husband.
Everybody, this is Will, and welcome back. If this is your first time with us, remember to subscribe and hit on that notification bell so you can be notified when we put out these videos. Now, this is a weekly podcast, and in this podcast, we talk about...
What do we talk about, baby?
Love, relationship, and that's it.
Why you gotta say it like that, though? Like, love, relationship.
That's what we
talk about great stuff on here, okay? We talk about love, family, relationships. What else?
You want me to say it like this? We talk about love, family, relationship. That's not me.
Well, at least you try, which was really good. So yes, welcome back. And as you guys know, before we get into the topic of the day, we like to go into our not mine, but our blissful moment. Let's be clear, it is our blissful moment.
Yeah, it's our blissful moment.
Summer is here.
I'm not enjoying summer.
The heat is here. I was outside earlier today, and let me tell you, it was 100 degrees. Okay, it was so hot.
I hear people complain about the heat, and I know it gets hot, but I have no reason to complain about it, and here's why.
Because you're not outside.
I leave my house before 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun is just coming out. I get home after 6 o'clock in the evening.
It's still sunlight.
Yes.
But it's still hot.
I don't get that midday heat. So I don't complain about it.
Lucky for you. Okay.
Most people don't get the midday heat. Like you stepped out earlier. It was just for 20 minutes.
No, it was for a couple hours.
Listen, here's what I say. If someone works outside.
But it was hot. That's the point.
They spend their days outside and they come by and say, man, it was hot while they're sweating. And yes, I get this. Listen, you were in the heat. You were in the sun. But many people spend most of their time indoors. They step outside for 5 minutes and they're complaining. Jeez.
You should have heard my daughter. She was like, Mom, I'm not staying outside. It's way too hot. And mind you, we were outside for like 10, 15 minutes, okay? I needed to do something outside. I took them outside for a little bit, and they're like, no, ma'am, I need to come back inside. It's way too hot. And it was really hot. Like, I feel like, summer started on the 22nd of June.
Yeah, so summer officially started, but it was hot before then. I've been hearing people complain about the heat 2 months ago.
But
they've been complaining.
Well, yeah, that's true. But listen, it's just hot. And I feel like, maybe like I said prior on the podcast.
This is the time
go to the beach or something.
Listen, if you're a beach person, spend some time in the water, the pool. But one thing I say, like, for instance, my kids don't know how to swim, which soon we'll have to get them some swimming lessons. So be cautious. If you're going to take your kids to the pool, make sure that someone's there to supervise them, because there's always craziness going on during the summer because we want to cool down. Now, lucky me, I get the heat on the weekend when I go out with them. But during the days when I'm at work, I go in early and I come out late. So I don't get the heat. So I don't complain about the heat.
But here's something about the heat, though. Like, I feel like the best way for you to lose some weight is... Yes.
Well, you burn some calories. Make sure you have some sunscreen on if you're going to go out. I've seen, actually, was it this weekend when we were out? I've seen a few people, like, middle of the day, they were just running.
Yeah.
So
that's like the best time ever to lose like a 20, 30 pounds, a month. So if you wake up every morning or you get up, like, I would say like around midday, 12 o'clock when it's really hot.
Listen, heat stroke is a real thing.
And imagine if you're running, you have the sweatshirt on and the sweatpants.
Listen,
and then the
heat stroke is a real thing. So if you're going to do that.
Don't do it at 12.
Listen, Make sure that you've consulted with your doctor and you're healthy enough to be out in the middle of, listen.
I feel like I need to lose weight. I need that summer body. I need to be ready. And
starting tomorrow, you're gonna go run in the middle of the day.
Like I said before, I am a beach person, but I like to look at the water. I don't like to step on the water. There's a difference between the two. I like to just sit by the water and admiring nature, how beautiful the ocean is. But him and the girls, they like to go in the water, build
What's the point of going to the beach if you don't get in the water?
And I'm sure we're going July 4th. I'm sure we're probably going this weekend.
COVID. Yeah, we haven't been to the beach for. Yeah,
we've been to the beach, but not in the water because we like to go at night just to,
relax. It's very relaxing going there.
And the breathe, like the ocean, the water, the wave. It feels so great at night. I mean, that's my moment whenever I go there. But hey, enough about the beach, okay? Let's get into the topic.
The heat is a blissful moment.
Listen, the heat is really doing us here in South Florida. If you're in Florida, you know what I mean. So no joke. Is that a non-negotiable thing for me?
The beach or the heat?
The heat.
Anyway, so let's get to the topic of the day, which is, some of the non-negotiables, behaviors or attitudes or whatever you may want to call it, that you should never compromise on in your relationship. So I know we've heard healthy relationship, there need to be some compromise, right?
Of course.
There's a little bit of give and take here and there for the relationship to work. And yes, there's a lot of truth in that. But I think there's certain things that there's no given. No, there's no given. It's either that. Now, it's what's important because those factors are important in your relationship. And if you're in a relationship with someone, those things need to be made known early on. That
deal breakers.
Oh, yes.
Yes, deal breakers for sure.
If it's something that I'm not willing to negotiate, yes, it's gonna be a factor that I would be considering, when it comes to whether or not I want to stay with you long term.
Yes, and here's the thing too: deal breakers. We all have them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with having deal breakers. This is how you are. This is how you feel about certain things, and if you don't want to negotiate that, yes, we compromise. I don't mind compromising with you in certain things. On certain things, okay. But not everything. Listen, my number one thing I would definitely think, and I think you are also agree, you definitely going to be agree with me, it's respect. Right?
I don't care about respect. I'll disrespect you. I'll curse you out.
Bye.
I'll mistreat you. I'll bash you. I'll put you down. I'll talk bad about you. I'll put your business out there.
Then we will not be here, sir. We will not be here.
And respect is important. I mean, if you're with someone, you say you love this person and you want to spend the rest of your life, at least you owe them some respect, right?
Well, yes.
So what's the point if you're with someone you can't respect them? Here's the one thing: if you don't respect that person, they will not respect you back, which means it's going to be a constant. Well,
not really.
Yes. If you don't respect someone, now if you're with the right person, there's people that would not take any disrespect from you.
Yes.
You throw something at them, they'll throw right back at you. Now, there are some people that are very submissive. They'll kind of like, it's no big deal.
No, here's the thing. It's no big deal, yes. And then they tolerate you, and then you do it more and more. The first time you do something, yes, out of respect.
Nip it in the butt right then and
out
there.
Of respect, you know what, I'm sorry. And then you do it again. And then, you know what, it's like you just said, it's no big deal. It's fine. And then now you become like, okay, it's no big deal. You say that. Remember, you said that. But to me, respect is like any relationship that you're in. That's like a non-negotiable thing. I think respect goes both ways. And I think if my partner put me down or overlooked my feelings or my opinions, or even rude, I feel like it's time for you to decide whether if this is something that can be fixed or should you move on, right? So respect is definitely something that I definitely feel strongly about is a non-negotiable thing for any relationships.
Okay, I agree. Great. It doesn't pay to stay in a relationship where you can't be yourself, but also where the other person does value you. They treat you however way they want.
Yep.
So what's the point?
Yeah.
Obviously you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
It will be miserable, definitely. And you will detest, you will hate this person. It's a guarantee.
Yeah.
You may take it for a few weeks or a few years, but you are growing to really dislike this person. And it'll just be a matter of time before you burst.
True. That's true. Call me names and you out.
Yeah.
Out of my life. Point blank, period. Period. Okay. My mom was actually saying that over the weekend. I mean, no, last week she was saying that. She was like, period. And I was like, okay, Mom. So, yes. Your number one was, I know you mentioned to me earlier, we were talking about it. What was it?
Well, I think we have to be really committed to each other, knowing that it's us and it's us. So commitment is a big thing, and commitment. You know, some people are in a relationship. They're really shallow, which means any little thing that comes up, they're willing to give up. No,
yeah.
When we're together, commitment is important, which means we're willing to do whatever is necessary to make it work for the betterment of both of us. So if something happens, that's when we get together and we figure it out together. If it's tough together, we're gonna do it. And if it's easy together, we're gonna do it. But at the end of the day, we need to know that we're committed to each other, which means we're not gonna let other people get in the way of us. Yes, there's people that can get in the way of your relationship. You need to be committed to each other to be able to resist any temptation to do the wrong thing.
Right. I mean, if your partner cannot commit to your way or the way you need, the things that you need, I mean,
what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, commitment is definitely, for sure. You definitely need that. So
another thing that's important is trust and dependability. Now, we just mentioned commitment, and that follows, those two follows commitment right then and there. So when you're committed to someone, you need to be able to trust them, and they need to be able to depend on you. In fact, you need to be able to depend on each other. You need to know that, hey, my partner will not trust that my partner will not do the things that I don't expect him to do.
Right.
But also I need to know that, hey, if something's going on, I can depend on my partner. I can call you and you won't have all types of excuses to give me when I need you. So you need to be dependable.
Yeah, I agree. You need to have someone who know how to drive. Someone who's like...
Talking about driving, I've been driving this woman for like a very long time.
What did I marry you for, sir? I'm just kidding. Well, when you marry someone...
My contract has nothing to do with... It said nothing about me driving you around.
You are responsible for me. That means you're responsible to drive me around.
This woman, sometimes I'm like...
I don't like driving far. I don't like getting in the car and drive around. I don't. You should be grateful for that. You don't have a woman who likes to drive around and go to places and wasting gas, especially the way things are right now.
Yes, I'm enjoying the fact that you're not the type of just go and drive around.
I'm not.
She drives an SUV, which means she consumes a lot more fuel than I do.
Yes.
Imagine if this woman was driving around all the time. I'd be broke.
Who are you calling this woman?
Very soon.
I feel like you calling this woman is like, what are you trying to say?
This woman here,
Speaking of what you just said, dependable. Like, let me tell y'all something. This is how this woman is. Sunday, right? Y'all know we had First Communion, which were mentioned on the podcast last week.
Yeah.
You know, about how we're going to have a lot of, maybe 5 kids I think we had, which is good. Typically we have close to 8. But this time we wanted to just keep it at a minimum.
Manageable number of kids.
There we go. So here's the thing. In the middle of us filming the service, one of the cameras decided to it's hot. It's been too long. I'm taking a rest. The camera, it literally dies. Like, my husband trying to turn it back on, and it wasn't, much. It's like, no way, Jose. It's way too hot. It's been, 3 hours of a service. I'm tired. I'm not used to this. I'm used to 1 hour. And then here's what this woman did. You know what? My husband had, 2 big cameras. I call them big guns. And I was like, you know what, babe? This thing decided not to do anything. Let me get one of the big guns and start, I was like, he wasn't even thinking about that. He's like, okay, I'm trying to fix it. I'm like, well, we need to capture these kids, receiving their first communion. And I was like, let me just act upon this and grab the big, camera and start capturing the kids which is the precious moment. Like you want to capture them receiving their first communion and then drinking the wine. And my husband was like, damn. I
I didn't say it this way, but I looked at him like, yeah, she's got it. She's got it. But yes, I mean, and you know, you need to have a partner like this who could see, okay.
Who think fast.
Okay, something's going on. I got to do something.
Right.
And yes, we would have missed those moments as I was trying to get this camera to come back on and trying to work the other camera. And she's like, you know what? You doing this? I'm just going to grab. And there were some other photographers. They're like, this woman just pick out this big old camera and start shooting.
Girl, you like...
Listen, and you
I
know,
pat myself on the shoulder after that.
You know, and that's you know, that's one thing that we mentioned. But I mean, Cece's been depending on Cece for a number of things. Thinking about, you know, handling the kids. You know, I've been fortunate enough to have her. There's a lot of things I don't have to worry about the kids because she takes care of them. You know, I don't ask for a fresh meal every day, but she does her best to make sure that we have things at the house to eat and so forth. So
okay, don't make me flush.
So having a partner like this who understand what it means to do things without even being asked, and obviously I do the things that I do without being asked either. So understanding the importance of what we do and letting our partners know, not by word but through actions, that I got you.
Yeah, I got your back.
I got you.
Yeah, since sometimes you don't even have to say it. Just because you like, you know, you're a woman or a person who think beyond and you're like, okay, this is happening. I need to act up right away. You know, I need to think of something. I need to like quickly think of something else and make it happen.
Go into action.
Go into actions. You know, having a partner who's like that, it's like golden. For real. But when you have a partner, whether if it's the guy or the wife or the husband, who's constantly dragging, not sure what they want, or constantly dragging, I'm just gonna wait on my husband or I'm just gonna wait on my wife, then it's like, no, we need to like really trust each other to know that you got this. Yeah. Like you know, like he didn't see it coming Sunday. I was like, pull the trigger.
Yeah. You know,
like literally, like I can't make the clicking sound.
She stays away from this camera. She's like, the thing's too heavy, and it is.
It is heavy.
It's a camera with a battery grip, and it has a 70 to 200 lens in it.
It is heavy.
It's heavy.
And I was like, y'all, like
I got
10 guys, you know, 10 photographers, and they were all men, and I'm the only girl. Listen, I don't know what happened to the other girl. She said she was.
I think she was showing off.
No, I'm like, this is what you need as a spouse.
I think she was showing off. So she's the type that she always wants me to bring the big lens to events.
You have it. Why not? You gotta show people what you got.
She likes.
I don't like to show it. The attention just happens to like. But it's the truth. Like I don't like using it because it's heavy and it's my husband's and I have my own and I like using mine because it's a lot lighter. But that Sunday it was like, okay, either you do it or you don't. And mind you, I wasn't even like thinking. I saw it and I grabbed it and started taking the pictures, capturing the kids, and they were just like coming in. And what I like about it too is like. Click and go. Make sure you capture the kids drinking the wine. And it was like nonstop. And we had 25 kids. And I capture all these kids, all these 25 kids, all of them.
She abused cameras sometimes. She just go at it. You know,
do.
The finger stays in the shutter and it just keeps going.
Yeah, I did.
Now that camera can shoot 15 frames per second.
I did. I would just keep going. And the guys and the gentlemen, the other photographers was like, damn, you should be proud of your wife, man. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, here's another thing. Here's another thing that should be actually, I don't think this shouldn't even be something that's non-negotiable. It's kind of like you're in a relationship that's a no-no. Cheating. I don't think there's any case under which this should be negotiable.
No, whether you're married or you're not married.
You know, cheating should never be something that's up for negotiation. It's a no-no. If you're in a relationship where you're committed to one person, you're committed to one person. If you get to the point where you can no longer be committed to that one person, break it off and then move on. But I don't think there should be any room for, okay, I kind of tippy-toed out. I did a little something. We come back. Everything is good. We'll move on. I don't think that should be the normal case. And now, I know people screw up sometimes, and some people have it in their heart to forgive. I'm not saying if you're the forgiving type of person, do not forgive.
So does that mean my grandma and my grandpa's cheated back then?
Yes, hey, listen. Well, good thing on yes, it's common for a lot of these older folks to have like kids with more than one woman.
Cheated? Like, no, my grandpa had like 3 baby
Several
mamas
kids outside of the marriage.
Both sides of my family.
Well, I think in those old days it was kind of like,
it is what it is.
I had an urge and just happens to be
whoever's at
there.
the garden. Is it garden they call them? What do you call them? The farm. Whoever's at the farm and is available.
Yeah, I got an urge and there's plenty of people there.
Oh my God.
And I don't think the wives had any issues with it.
No. They're like,
yeah, things were simple back then.
were they really? Were they really?
Because it's common. Your uncle had how many kids?
Oh my God. May he rest in peace.
Were they with one wife?
No, I think he had 2.
See?
But he had 10. Yeah. 10 kids. 10 or 11.
It's common now. My grandpa, no, he didn't. On my mom's side, he didn't. Neither did he on my dad's side.
Oh, you lucky. Not my parents. Not my mom's
they had
side.
several kids though. I mean, I think on my mom's side they had like 7 or 8. On my dad's side, yes, but they were all with one woman.
Oh, yeah. My grandpa on my mom's side, I know they had like 3 and 3.
People in her family is wild.
They are. Not my parents. My grandparents. May they rest in peace. Yes, my grandparents. They were like, kicking in the back then. It was hot.
I think there's still some places around the world where it's kind of like this.
Yeah, I think there's a show actually on I don't remember which TV channel is it on when I used to watch the show. I think my mom still does.
In the West,
there's this thing called Sister Wives, and this guy would have 10 or 5 wives or 5 or less.
I respect
Would
that
that
guy.
call cheating?
I don't know. See, I have one, and I'm trying to keep things together. How do you deal with 5? How do you deal with 5?
Yes, it's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And I heard biologically speaking, when women lives together, things kind of happen at the same time. So when all these people going through their moments,
they all.
What, does he leave the house or something?
Well, we kind of like follow Father Abraham in the Bible, who had like 2.
Actually, he did. Anyway,
Lot,
but cheating is a non-negotiable thing for me.
They're non-negotiable, but it happened in the Bible. So
I know there'll be temptations. There'll be nice people that comes around shaking
better
themselves.
not look.
I don't look at people. If someone happened to pass by my line of sight, I'll see you. But that's
you
it.
just keep looking straight ahead. No turn left and
even
turn
if they
right.
happen to be walking straight ahead in front of me,
and then you look to the other side. You look to the other side,
you
and
just
then
said
that's
look
it.
straight ahead.
If they're walking past by, you look straight ahead. But if they're walking straight ahead, you look to the left or to the right. No, and mind you, here's the thing: cheating is not just physical.
Yeah.
It's also emotional affairs, right? It's also when people go online on the computer, their best friend or their phones, and they're looking at other,
Watching
their
other women and stuff.
Their mind. They know we have
secretly. I've heard this thing that you
this
can.
podcast is 18 plus or 21 plus. It's going up plus, okay? So if you're 18, you should be watching this. It's like people on the phone who's emotionally thinking or having some kind of feelings, so it's cheating too. They say whatever you're thinking, whether if it's something sexually, that's cheating.
Where's that written?
Google it.
Listen, for all the guys who watch porno, your wife thinks that you're cheating.
Well, yes, you are,
So
because
don't take a sneak at that porn. It's not worth it.
unless if your wife is okay with it, then you know.
So what if a group of guys happen to go to a strip club to celebrate maybe one of the guy's birthday?
You're just there. You're not touching. You're not doing anything, and you shouldn't be.
It's not cheating if your friend takes you to a
What?
strip
No,
club.
like if you're having a bachelor party, like if it's a bachelorette party and there's male strippers.
See, yeah, there's certain things that are okay.
But I would not let my husband go to Hooters. That's
Why
something
not?
that I
What if I feel like eating at Hooters?
I hear you some hot wings.
This woman got issues.
No, cheating is very betrayal. It's like, it's just.
But I think everybody should be able to resist any temptation, any
Temptation is
physical
hard.
temptation. And obviously, you shouldn't be fantasizing about someone else when you have your partner. If you're fantasizing about someone else,
You're cheating.
oh, I wouldn't call it
You're cheating mentally, okay?
Listen. If Sherman could be going through a phase, things happen. Our minds can wander sometimes.
Okay,
And if it does wander, we'll bring it back. But don't be obsessed over other people. But I'm talking about when you intentionally go and do something that you shouldn't, or you could not resist the urge, and you do some craziness. That is nuts, and I'm not good with it.
No.
And if I happen to be scrolling online and then some half-naked person shows up as an ad, and
First of all, why would you be even looking at that?
And I accidentally click
How
on
is
it.
that an accident when you click? You click. How is that an accident?
Sometimes mouse.
Tell me.
Sometimes mouse.
The
can
mouse
go
just like,
crazy.
this is
Or you're in the
interesting.
tablet, you accidentally tap on it, and a video pops up, and you quickly close it. That's not cheating, because
That is cheating. You know how when when your husband or your spouse is doing something like so wrong,
they quickly put
put it away,
I've never
or they
done that.
quickly like how could you not have a tab open if I check your phone and you have nothing open?
No, I wasn't looking at anything.
Like you literally, my husband hasn't done that to me. I mean, I'm hoping that
You
he's
don't
not
know
hiding.
that.
Then again, I don't
I'm
know
just-
that,
I'm
right?
just good.
A man, you can't really trust them 100%. You can't really know. You don't know what they're doing. Like
Okay,
sometimes,
this is messed up now. You can't trust me 100%.
sometimes they be on the phone and you don't know what they're watching. They're in the bathroom, you know what they're watching, and then when you come out and then you're like, okay, let me see your phone. No tabs open. Like
Maybe
what
I
were
was
you
just
doing?
looking at the icons on the screen. That happens. I fantasize over my
I
screen
feel like
icon.
as women, we have nothing to hide. We don't hide stuff from y'all. Like we don't.
Listen, I say don't be sneaky. Listen, if you're doing something, if you're thinking, geez, I don't want my wife to see, then just don't do it.
Don't
right?
do it.
Save yourself the aggravation. Because yes,
'Cause
if
we'll
I've been
find
on
out.
my phone and Cece come by and take a look and there's nothing on the screen, she knows that I closed something as she was coming up.
Yes. Because you're being suspicious. You like, okay, what just happened? You cannot tell me you were sitting there admiring your phone or looking at pictures or admiring your phone while you were in there. Because whenever a man goes to the bathroom, you know.
Hey, listen, that's what we do our
You
reading.
know.
Right? For instance, I check out the
Reading?
news. I listen to Trevor Noah. I don't do TikTok in the bathroom. But, hey, listen, I do some scrolling on social media when I'm sitting. Hey, listen, back in the days, back in the days before we had phones, we'll take a newspaper to the bathroom.
Or magazine.
I don't
More
have
like-
newspapers. I don't have magazines in the house. My phone's what I got. So I go in there, and while I'm relaxing, that's the moment that I have to myself. In fact, I can do whatever in there because that's the moment that I have to myself.
I agree. This is your privacy. That's your moment. But don't be like sneaky.
And don't be like, hey, you're in the bathroom for so long with your phone. What were you doing? She's asked for that.
I do. Like, what are you doing? Especially if you're like in there for a good 10, 15 minutes. Like, what are you doing? You
And
just in the
when
moment?
she goes in the shower for 30 minutes, I never say anything.
But I'm in the shower.
I don't care if you're in the shower. It's not my business.
I'm not
your shower
scrolling.
time.
I'm not scrolling.
You could have been scrolling the whole time.
My husband was scroll. Here's how you know when you're guilty, y'all.
Yeah.
Listen, my beautiful audience. Here's how you know when you're guilty. My husband is so guilty because he was so much on social media, which means Facebook, right? For no reason. He'll just go in there
Yeah, I
and
kinda got
scroll and
addicted
scroll
to,
and scroll the reels.
to
Like
those
he'll go.
reels and stories.
This thing will like,
And
still.
I don't know how that happened, but I caught myself, so I got rid of the apps on my phone.
Yeah.
So now I have no social media apps on my phone.
He been went and you've been went and uninstall YouTube, and I'm like, no, baby, you do YouTube. You cannot uninstall YouTube because you gotta have your news or whatever's going on. But then here's the reason why he uninstalled YouTube, because YouTube has reels, so he'll find himself doing similar. And earlier today, I caught him on LinkedIn. I was like, damn.
So I'm in I think I'm probably gonna uninstall LinkedIn, but I don't spend a lot of time. But LinkedIn's all professional, so there's not all that stuff to like give. But Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, that's
YouTube.
If YouTube, I'm keeping YouTube for the sole reason that I listen to certain things when I'm driving, and that's how I get my music. So I am not going. Well, I did uninstall it. I uninstalled it when I got rid of everything, and then I needed to check something because I monitored my church stream. Once the stream goes live, I pulled it up, make sure that the stream's coming good. And last Sunday, I'm like, how do I check this?
I was like, wait, you uninstalled YouTube?
But I no longer have access to Facebook.
But now he's on LinkedIn. He's like, okay, I don't have social. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. And now my third choice.
Wrong.
And the whole time he wasn't on LinkedIn. This is the thing. He wasn't on LinkedIn the whole time. But because he needs to scroll on something, he goes on LinkedIn. I was like, damn, baby, is it that bad? And this is just an addiction. And I feel like,
watch yourself. If you know, everyone, and I think all of us should do that sometime. Look at to see how much time you spend on these things. Apple, the iPhone has the ability to tell you how much time you spend on each app.
But I'm glad.
Yes. So if someone send me a Facebook Messenger, I'm not going to get it because I don't have the app and I barely pull it up on my computer. So
I doubt it.
Yes, but no one barely messaged me anyway. So
you were just there wasting time, and I didn't tell him to uninstall it. If you are wondering, did Cece made Will install? No, I did not. That was just like his choice, and I told him, hey, be disciplined enough to not go on there for 21 days. You know how it is with the 21-day plan. If you do, the best habit is 21 days or 30 days, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But he was like, you know what? It's too much.
Remove the temptation out of your life. If something is tempting you, if something's tempting you, the best thing you could do is to remove it, because that will help you build the discipline to not mess with it a lot quicker. Now that goes for if you work with someone that may cause you to do the wrong things, maybe quit that job and go work somewhere else.
And here's the thing too.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Here's the thing. So because it was so much in social media, one of my non-negotiables is that treat me like a priority, please. Give me attention. Okay. Attention matters to me a lot. I'm not one of those people that I don't seek attentions. It just happened to. I don't. I do not. I'm not one of those people. I'm not a center of attention kind of girl.
Let me correct this. Yes, she may not care if other people give her attention, but she wants attention from me.
Yes.
Yes, she wants attention from me. And so, I give her the attention and so forth. But if she feels anything else is getting more attention than she does.
Listen, it's very simple. If I'm not a priority in your life, then...
You're always a priority in my life.
Then the social media is, because you give it more attention than you give it to your spouse. I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about...
I was in bed scrolling once.
It was that bad. It was like you barely post, but you be on the social media watching,
I was consuming
looking.
social media. Yes, but priority is important, and that goes for both partners. You gotta make sure that you act in a way that makes your partner feel like they're important in this relationship. They're important in your lives, which means do things together, spend time together. Don't let Facebook scrolling be what you do while you're sitting there watching TV, which I find myself doing.
Oh my God. A lot.
Or, you're relaxing together or you're somewhere before you know it, you're on your phone. No, don't do that.
Yeah, it's like when my husband had the Facebook on his phone. I mean, it's not like he's looking for anything. It's just like distraction. Seriously, that's all it was, distraction. And he just needed to watch something that it is just a habit.
Funny enough, I found myself watching videos about road rages.
Okay. Like, seriously? A businessman.
Nonsense.
Nonsense, seriously. And here's the thing too, before we move on, it's not a matter of, you bored. It's not even that. It's just that your mind, as soon as you pick up the phone, it tells you to go on Facebook. And I guess it registered. I guess your mind registered like, okay, he got
Facebook
his phone.
Is important. Get on there.
So he's going to get on Facebook. And sometimes you do it without even realize that you're doing it. And I think that's what was happening to this
what's
man.
happening to me?
He will just
Now
pick it
I'm
up.
in a better place. I'm in a better
Well,
place.
he's not gonna install it for a long time. And I know one thing he's doing now is just like when he gets home before he goes to bed, if he wants to, he goes on the computer and look and just spend 5 minutes where the reel is not that interesting on the computer. They're more interesting on the phone and sometimes that can take away of our moment together, intimacy. That's the major non-negotiable for me when it comes to intimacy. My husband know that.
Yes, you got to be intimate. You got to be touchy. You got to hold hands. You got to have that physical contact. Yes, I know that. And so when you go out, I hold her hands.
Sometimes I'm like, no, it's not even about holding hands. It's just about like us bonding together, us talking. If you're not talking, if there's no conversation, then
you're not.
What are we doing?
You're not vibing, and this is what's important to have. To have that partnership, you have that time you can set aside where you talk about the things that are important in your relationship. Mm-hmm. And yes, the physical is important. The emotional is important because what you find if you don't put effort towards emotionally connecting to your partner, understanding what's going on with them, be there to be the shoulder for them to lean on or cry on, whatever it may be, you'll find yourself slowly being detached from your partner. And believe me, there's some distance when you get that between you, it's difficult to bring it back together. So you got to stay on it. And obviously it takes working on things every day. Every day. Doing the little things. Yes. Laugh together. Call them out when they're doing things they shouldn't be doing.
Social media. Call them out on social media, girl. Yes. Call them out.
That's important because at the end of the day, those are all the little glue that keeps your relationship together. Mm-hmm. And that conversation piece and that being there for your partner is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And don't forget the family relationship, If your partner don't get along with your family, if it's something you can fix it. If it's something you can't fix, then you'll have to make a choice. Am I with the right person? Or was I born in the right family? Right? I mean, yes, and it's important because, when someone has issues with your family and, forget you dating. Imagine you married this person, which means family gathering, this person probably not going to be there because if they're there, they have issues. Yeah. Right? And that goes for a lot of other things that you can't do. Like maybe something's going on with your family, but because this person doesn't get along with them, you can't take part of it to be helpful to your family. Or something's going on with this person because your family can't stand them. Your family is not there to support you. So you got to think, how's your family relationship? Now, all of us have, sometimes people in our families that are just not the right person to deal with anybody. In that case, just keep that person out. Now, if it's a father or a mom, you got to find a way to try to work things out. But at the end of the day, you always have to make a decision to see, okay, is this healthy? Is this healthy for me? Is this healthy for the person that I'm with? Now, if the person that you're with is open to mend things, but that family members want nothing to do with it, then you'll have to make a choice. Do I still want to be in this relationship? In that case, you're going to be excluding this family member out of your life. Right. Or do I want to find someone else to be with? Yeah. It's important.
It is important. Family matters to me. So I think you said you nailed it.
Oh, I nailed stuff. I know that.
You nailed it, baby.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
Another thing that's important, we all have some values. We all have some things that's important to us, whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's the place we want to live, the number of kids we're going to have, the way we look, we all have things that are important to us that we call core values. Now, if yours is completely different than mine, that may cause issues.
Yeah.
However, if we both understand we are different and it's okay for us to have different goals, as long as that goal is not going to cause issues in the relationship. And here's an example. You want to have 10 kids. I want to have 2 kids. That goal is going to cause issues if someone is not willing to compromise.
Right.
Right? Because at the end of the day, your values or whatever is important to you, if we can't find a way to meet somewhere, it's going to cause issues. Or sometimes it's religion or political views. You may be a conservative, I may be a liberal. Woo! These days, you'd be having some heated conversation. So you got to look at it. Religion. Or, marital things. Do you believe in same-sex or not same-sex?
Right.
All of these things are things that you have to make sure when you are with someone, what's important to you, how do you view the world that you live in, and can we see eye to eye?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because believe me, if you can't see eye to eye, if you're not on the same page, every day it's going to be an argument.
It's going to be an
And
argument.
I'll tell you, these days there's so many things that every second you are exposed to that can cause an argument if your views, your core values are not aligned.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things I think you should ask someone from the get-go. What's your political affiliation?
What's your religion?
What's your religion? How do you feel about
Such and
child
such.
labor?
How do you feel about I want to have 10 kids and you only want 2? How are we going to compromise this?
Yes.
How
So
are we
those
going
are
to work
important.
this out?
Now, that's important is financial,
Financial stability.
stability.
That's
That-
important because I know one thing for sure. Before we got married, we were both make sure that we were financially ready.
Yes. Not just ready. I made sure that my student loan was like really down. And I had money.
Mine wasn't.
stashed. I had money stashed aside. Credit was good. That's important. Listen, I know that's not something that usually come up in a relationship. Before you marry someone, make sure their credit is good.
I mean, you know how it is. After dating that person for a while, there's going to be where you guys want to go do make a purchase together or whatever. Then you're going to find out whether the credit is good or not.
It's important because there's certain things you would want to do in life. And if the other person really has some jacked up issues in their credit, it could be tough.
Yes.
It could be tough.
Money is a big part of any relationship, I feel like. Unless if you're not that serious. Maybe a serious relationship won't like.
Even in a not serious relationship, when you go to the restaurant, someone's going to expect someone to pick up the check.
Yes.
Right?
True.
So
True.
money, it's unfortunate, but money is part of any relationship. And it's sad to say sometimes many relationships fall apart due to money issues. All right. So whether it's financial, core values, respect, cheating,
Smoking, alcoholic.
whatever it may be, know what it is in your relationship that are non-negotiable, and make sure that you make those things known early on, because at the end of the day, those are deal breakers for whomever.
Yeah.
And if you're in a relationship where these things are not quite happening the way you want them, that relationship will not last. So do the things that make sense for your relationship, but make sure that you and your partner have some kind of understanding of the best way of making sure that these things happen the way you want.
Of course.
So, hey, guys, thank you very much for listening to our podcast on the non-negotiables that you should never, ever compromise on in your relationship. So if this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe so you can be notified when we put out these videos. For those of you who's been with us a while, we thank you. We appreciate you. Please keep supporting the channel. Now, remember, we are on the audio channels as well, the Spotify, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and whichever one that I'm missing, we're there too. So thank you very much. We appreciate you guys.
Yes, and thank you for all the comments, and thank you for all the likes and all the shares.
Definitely.
And all the new subscribers and all the new viewers.
Yes.
We thank you guys. Y'all know I got to make a speech. So we thank you guys so much. And we appreciate y'all. More content is coming. So thank you. Mwah. Thank you.
Well, on that note, I'd say remember to share the podcast. And we'll see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Peace.